This is a time to celebrate graduates, and today I want to show you a fun decorated pouch that I created specifically for that purpose. To begin with, I pulled out my ScanNCut, I got some clip art, and I'm going to create a cut file by scanning it in, and go ahead and create the file based off that clip art. This could be a hand drawing. This could be anything at all. You could also utilize a pre-made SVG if you want to skip this step. But it's so easy to scan on in and create your cut files that I just had to go ahead and do this to get the perfect graduation cap. Once it has recognized your file, then what you're going to do is select what type of outline you wish. For this one, we just want the basic outline. We're not trying to go inside and outside. And for this, I also have ScanNCut vinyl, sticker vinyl. I have a beautiful kind of a minty green as well as a black. First, we're going with the black to create this, of course. And I'm going to go ahead and just scale this in so that the cut file size that I create is much more in line with the actual size of my cut file, and I'm going to just save it to my machine. Since this is a file that I will use and then delete off of the machine for test, I only need temporary storage. Once it is saved, then we can go on back to the home screen. Once we're on the home screen, we're going to go into retrieve data. Pattern is where we're going to go for other files. We'll go back there in a moment. We're retrieving data, and I know it's all the way at the end. I'm just going to retrieve it. And then I'm going to go into edit, and I'm going to select the little red dot squares there and select all so that I can unify, which means turn all of these cuts into one cohesive pattern instead of the machine identifying each cut as a separate pattern. Once I have done this, I'm going to go back in and pull out my graduation word art. You could create your own, of course. I personally really like the one that's here already in the ScanNCut waiting for me, and I'm going to utilize that. Once I have resized it down a bit, I'm going to bring it in, and I'm kind of moving these around just to visualize approximately where on my little gift pouch they're going to go. If you need to do any alterations in this example, I want to tilt that just to get a little better view of what that's going to look like, and I also want to size it down a bit. So you can go ahead and do any kind of editing and alterations you would like to either of the files. Once you are satisfied, you're going to click through all the way to just continue to say, okay. I have my vinyl on the mat, and once I have selected cut, I'm going to click the little tool button, and I'm going to go in and make sure that half cut is turned on. This will ensure that the vinyl cuts, but not the backing. Once that is cut out, I'm going to go back in, go into pattern, and select a star. The reason for this, I want lots of little stars. I want this to be very cute and decorated. I do want it practical, so I'm going to stick everything to vinyl, sticker vinyl, but I would like an assortment of cute things. Oh, I am going to just pull in there. So I pulled in there 6 stars, and now I'm going to select one of the stars, and I'm going to increase the number that I have there, because I decided I wanted even more. And then I'm going to, with a couple of them, adjust how many of them, but first adjust the size. So what this will do is give me a little different size and then give me a couple of them. The exact number will just really depend on what you want there. So there's little teeny tiny stars, and I want 6 of them. Once I have done this, I can move my stars around. Now you can go ahead and utilize the tool within the ScanNCut that will auto do this. I just manually move them. And then I'm going to go ahead and load my mat that has my vinyl on it, this time kind of a minty green. I'm also going to do this in a silver and cut. Now for the silver, when I go to cut it out of the silver, I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to edit anything. I'm just going to select cut and cut. So all of those cut files that we have there can cut as many times as we want them to. Once everything is cut out, we're going to weed, which just means take off the vinyl that we're not going to cut, all of our pieces and all of our designs. And you can see here I've got my stars going. I'm just peeling that back and off. And I will do this with all of my designs at once. The reason I do it with all of my designs at once is because then it's all ready and all set so that as I start assembling my project, I don't have to go back and do this later. The black design here, we've got our, there it is. We've got our graduation cap. So cute. And we've also got our word art, and I will just go through and pick out those center letters as well. With everything set, I put my design on the back side, and I would actually like to change my design up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is cut apart the graduation and the hat and adhere them separately. Now, to move those files from our vinyl stickers there from where they are onto the pouch, the easiest way to do this is with transfer material. Transfer material can be purchased separately, same as our rolls of vinyl, and you can also reuse it, which is really great. So you can keep using and reusing it as you need. You're just going to place it over your design, and you're going to firmly press until it transfers from the backing paper to your transfer material. And then you're going to place that transfer material on whatever your project is. So it gives you a really great way to see exactly where you're putting it. Make sure that you like where you're putting it, and then go forth and repeat with any of the elements that you want to, that you need to have on there. Now, I like to do one color at a time, or at least get those big base elements started. And then once those larger base elements are placed and we like the way they look, then I'm going to go in and add stars. Now, the stars we can add two different ways. We can continue to do it this way. However, some of these stars, especially the ones around 1 inch, sometimes it's just easier to transfer them like you would a normal sticker and pop them off the backing and transfer that way. So like I said, that works really well to transfer if you're just not really feeling like doing it in that way. For whatever reason, yes, you can set aside that transfer material and just place your star stickers. You're going to want to make sure you really press down, make sure you get everything really nice and firmly placed. Now, using the same exact steps that I used earlier in this video, I cut another one of the graduation hat, and I cut this time the word art celebrate. And I transferred these using the same methods we've already shown in the video to put them on a piece of folded cardstock. And the reason is then I can put this inside here, and it does a couple things. Number one, it creates a barrier. So whatever money, gifts, etc. I put inside aren't going to really show up. But it also creates a backside of this without actually gluing anything or transferring any vinyl to the backside of the pouch. I kept this all vinyl because I really wanted this pouch to be useful. I didn't want any chunky things or elements that would distract, and I absolutely love the results. I hope that the graduate that I give this to loves them as much as I do. I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial. Be sure to subscribe to the Brother YouTube channel and stay tuned for more tutorials, ideas, and crafty fun.